Welcome back to the Milwaukee Brewers franchise here in MLB 15, the show. This is episode 10, and in today's episode, we'll be taking on the Cincinnati Reds at home here in Milwaukee at Miller Field. And as of right now, our Brewers are sitting at 30-26 on the season, which is good enough for first place in the NL Central. So definitely an improvement from the past season as our Brewers are rolling so far. And before we get into today's game, we have some things to go over. One thing is the first-year player draft. Our Brewers did not get too much of value from this year's draft. As you'll see, who we drafted on the screen right now, our best guy by far we picked up was Shane Warner, a closing pitcher who was our guy in the first round. 18 years old, he's a B potential, he's an 89 potential, so that could go up to an A if he just goes up one spot. And then our second round guy was Jonathan McGraw, a first baseman, a 21-year-old B potential. Third rounder is left fielder Barry McGregor, he's a 22-year-old C potential. Our starting pitcher in the fourth round is Edgar Santiago, 22 years old, C potential. We did not sign our fifth round pick is Forrest Broussard, he's a relief pitcher. We did not sign him, like I said, he just turned out not to be very good at all. Center fielder Jose Padilla, 19 years old, C potential. We did sign him, but we did not sign our seventh round pick, who was left fielder Peter Heller, who's 23 years old, and just not a very good player at all. Not going to turn out to be anything either. As far as who's performing well on our team, we have in the starting rotation, Taylor Youngman is 5-3 with a 2.64 ERA, and then Brett Anderson, who's today's starting pitcher, is 4-4 with a 2.95 ERA. In the bullpen, Corey Knebel in the closer role is still 0-0 with a 1.15 ERA and 18 saves. He's been on fire so far this season. He's on pace to make the All-Star team as a closing pitcher. And then Jonathan Lucroy in our lineup is leading the National League in average with a 309 average, 7 home runs, 29 RBI. And then Scott Van Slyke and Chris Davis have definitely improved since last episode. Van Slyke has his average up to 238. He's at 9 home runs with 24 RBI. And then Davis is up to 251 with 9 home runs and 26 RBI. And then also another change is Domingo Santana is on the bench as of right now because we called up Mason Williams from AAA, the guy who we traded from the Yankees last year in that Ryan Braun trade. So now Mason Williams is up. He's going to be playing center field, and Marisnik is going to shift over to right field as he has the slightly better arm, and that's where I want my better arm, is in right field. And another thing to mention is that Scooter Gennett, who was hurt at the very start of the season, I think he's only played like 4 games this season, is going to be back. He has 1 day left on DL, so after this game he'll be back, and then he has 1 to 6 days left on his injury, so he could be back anywhere from after this game to the next few days. So Scooter Gennett in our next episode will be back in the lineup as our starting second baseman. Our 30-26 division-leading Milwaukee Brewers played host to their NL Central rivals, the 26-31 Cincinnati Reds. Brett Anderson got the nod for the Milwaukee Brewers, 4-4 on the season with a 2.95 ERA in 11 games started. We'll start things off top half of the first inning, 1 on, 1 out as Joey Votto at the plate will ground out to Segura. He'll flip to second. Sardina fires over to first, and the scoop from Van Slyke makes it an inning-ending double play. Tony Cingrani on the mound for the Reds. He's 3-5 with a 4.30 in 11 games started. So with 1 out, runner on second, Scott Van Slyke can't pull the trigger, and he strikes out looking. So then, Chris Davis comes up next batter. 2-2 count, he goes down swinging as well. They strand Lucroy out at second base, and still scoreless. Top half of the second now, as Devin Mesoraco is going to rip this one into left field. That'll hit off the warning track and the wall. As Mesoraco heads to second, throw into the cutoff, throw into second, bounces off of Van Slyke's glove. So Mesoraco gets into third base. So Mesoraco on third with 1 out. Next batter up's Jay Bruce. He goes down looking on the slider right down the middle. Can't pull the trigger on it for whatever reason. And then the 3-0 count to Zach Cozart, swings at it for whatever reason, and Hernandez fires across the diamond for out number 3, and they strand Mesoraco at third. So to the bottom of the second we go. Mason Williams rips one past Votto at first base. He's got himself a single. Mason Williams, the A potential prospect. He's got some speed, so he wants to show it off here. Takes off for second base, but gets a bad jump, and Mesoraco guns him out of the bag. So nobody scores that inning as well. To the top of the fourth we go. Joey Votto at the plate. He's going to rip one into the right center field gap. That'll land right before the warning track. And Joey Votto has himself a stand-up double. So he's on second base now. And that brings up Todd Frazier, who's going to pop one up into foul territory over in the first base right field side. Van Slyke retreats back and puts that one away. And then with 2 outs, Devin Mesoraco rips one into center field. Looks like it's going to be good enough to score Joey Votto, but Mason Williams has other plans. The laser show from center field guns it to the plate. And that's no runs cross the plate. Still, to the bottom of the fourth we go. Chris Davis for the Brewers with a K rips one into left field. And that's going to be a single for him. So he's on first base. Jake Marisnick comes up next. 0-2 count. He's taking that one into the left field seats. Jake Marisnick rips that one for a home run. And he makes it a 2-0 Brewers lead in his 4th home run of the season. As we head to the top half of the 6th now, Brett Anderson still on the mound. Billy Hamilton at first, the ground out to second base. A glove-to-glove flip there from Sardina to Segura, and they get out of that inning. Top half of the 7th, he gets Todd Frazier to ground out as Brett Anderson would pitch 7 strong in this game. And now we head to the top half of the 8th, where Kella comes out of the bullpen for the 19th time this season. And with runners on first and second, strikes out Billy Hamilton, makes that 2 outs. He is 2 pitches away from getting out of this inning here, but Brandon Phillips rips one into right field, hits off the glove of Marisnick. They'll rule that a single. 1 run will come in, so it's now a 2-1 ball game with runners on the corners and 2 outs. They have a chance to break this one wide open, but Joey Votto strikes out in the high cheese, and it'll only be 2-1 as now they head to the top half of the 9th. Corey Knebel comes on looking for his 19th save of the season in his 20th appearance. And when Jay Bruce comes up, he gets that as he rips one into right field, but Marisnick is there to catch that one. And Knebel gets his 19th save of the season, and the Brewers now improve to 31-26 to extend their NL Central lead as they take this win over their NL Central rival of the Cincinnati Reds, who dropped to 26-32 on the season. Brett Anderson, deservedly so, was the player of the game, went 7 strong, only gave up 5 hits, struck out 4. He improves to 5-4 in the season. Knebel picks up his 19th save. Tony Cingrani drops to 3-6 with the loss. While the notables for the Brewers were Jake Marisnick, who had a 1-for-3 on the day with a home run, 2 RBI, their only 2 runs of the day. Gene Segura, Luis Sardina were both 1-for-3, and then Jonathan Lucroy was 1-for-4 with a double. And the the Reds side of things, they had Mesoraco, who was 2-for-4 with a double. Phillips was 1-for-3 with an RBI, and Joey Votto was 1-for-4 with a double. But it just was not enough in this low-scoring game and low-hit game, as the Brewers win 2-1. As that being said, to wrap things up, here for this edition of Milwaukee Brewers Baseball, I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. Now it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get.